all of my darling divas out there, and welcome back to another day here on the NoMinusPlus channel. First and foremost, before we get into anything, happy Valentine's Day to everybody who is celebrating today. Whether you are in a relationship, whether you are single, or maybe it's just a Friday for you, whatever you are celebrating today, happy that, okay? So I'm super excited because today is the first inaugural episode of a new series slash segment I'm bringing to the NoMinusPlus channel called Brown and Brie. Okay, so basically with the Brown and Brie segment, I'll just be shooting the shit, talking about different topics while sipping on something brown. Now, I'm a full-blown adult, so that brown is more than likely going to be alcoholic, but from time to time we might switch it up, you know, do some coffee, do some tea, or do whatever. But 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a little something extra in the glass. And of course, because it's the first episode, today's brown drink is going to be a little alcoholic. So I caught myself slightly trying to catch a cold this morning. So today's brown drink for the first Brown and Brie segment is going to be a hot toddy. So the most delicious thing in this glass today is that it's some whiskey in there, some honey whiskey in there. And y'all, I don't want to burn my lip. Let me get my little spoon. Y'all, it's good. So of course I have to shout out the mug that I'm using in today's video. This is my SlayBJanae Zodiac mug. This one is for the Aquarius sign. The SlayBJanae Zodiac mug comes in every sign. It comes in this holographic design, and you can also get it in black. So if you're interested in purchasing the SlayBJanae Zodiac mug, head over to the SlayBJanae Etsy page, and I will leave that down below. So you know, I gotta plug in my brands on my other brands. So yeah, y'all, it's gonna be, this segment's gonna be real cute. So since today is Valentine's Day, I figured that the first topic should be about my singleness, my single journey, me being single, because it's just something cute to talk about today. And so as you guys know, I've been trying to come up with different types of lifestyle content for you guys to get to know me better and for me to be more open and vulnerable online. So me talking about my single journey is definitely me opening all the way up, but I'm excited for you guys to get to know me a little better this way, and I'm excited to also open up the conversation about, you know, anybody else who's single in their journey, or if you're taken, you want to talk about your journey to, you know, getting there, whatever. Like, whatever we can talk about and openly discuss in the comments, I'm here for. And we're gonna be doing it with me getting a little tipsy. So, you know, this is gonna be great. So, let's begin. All right, y'all. My goodness. If y'all ain't never had a hot toddy, y'all need to get up on it. I will leave, like a little simple recipe that I used, in the blog post for today, because, girl, this right here is good. So I've been single, let's see, carry the 1, square root of 7. I've been single for 4 years, and honestly it's been a whole journey, this 4-year journey nonetheless has been really rewarding. Like, my single journey this time around, like, I was playing no games, okay? I was like, yo, Brie, we gotta do some inner work. We gotta heal some stuff. We gotta, you know, reconstruct some stuff. We gotta get it together. So, there are so many different ways that I was thinking about this video going, but honestly, now that I'm recording it and I got a little alcohol in the system, I'm gonna just go with the flow. So, my last relationship, when it ended, I was super sad. Like, I was super sad, just like anybody is in a typical breakup. I was super sad. I was still, you know, bouncing back and forth, going back with him and seeing him, and at the time not realizing that that really wasn't helping me with my heartbreak. You know, he because I do date men. He was somebody who I was really close to, obviously, and it was like my first adult relationship. All my other relationships were when I was like a teenager and in high school and stuff. So it was like my first, like, kind of experience in an adult relationship. And so I was like devastated, like, oh, like, why you leave? Like, what did I do? And like all this different stuff that comes with you know, like the first part of your breakup. And so I think like the biggest lesson for me in that stage, now that I'm looking back on it, now that I'm very much over it, I like it's up to feel, bruh. A lot of the times, and I'm even guilty of this at the time when I was still hurting, like I was like ready to stop hurting. Like, yo, when are these feelings gonna be done? I feel mad weak, I feel mad whack, like I'm tired of crying, I'm tired of being upset. But honestly, you gotta let yourself feel it. You gotta let yourself go through the motions. You gotta let yourself you know, go through it. So the first kind of phase, like the first year, honestly, of me being single, I was hurting, y'all. Like, I was crying, sad songs on Pandora. I wasn't eating tubs of ice cream, but I was like just crying all the time, laying in bed, wishing that they were next to me, just all types of sad stuff, and still texting and still calling and still seeing him, and just really like making the situation that matters worse for me, especially based off of why we broke up, which I ain't gonna get into because it's like old news. But like the first part of me like being single, I was like super sad, and I really honestly allowed myself to feel how sad I needed to, because honestly I wouldn't be in this great place I am now with being single if I didn't allow myself to feel sad, if I truly felt that way. Now, everybody breaking up and getting with people and all that stuff is different. Like, maybe you might not be sad. Maybe you broke up with somebody and you single, and it's like, nah, I ain't got time for nobody to be treating me like XYZ, so I'm out. So maybe you don't feel sad because you were the initiator. Or maybe if you got broken up with, maybe you still don't feel the type of way about it because you're like, listen, like, that's just not my vibe. But me, I was sad. I ain't even going to front. I was super sad, but I had to be, because that's just how I process my emotions. Like, that's just how I go through the thing. So like, after I was done being like sad, I was angry after that. Like, after being sad, okay, sad's over, I'm tired of being sad. Now I was angry, because now it was like that ego coming out. Like, okay, so how you just like not gonna want to be with me? Like, I'm amazing, I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever. And during my angry phase of being single, I learned that you know, I learned that you shouldn't have to force anybody to think you're amazing or think you're great or think you're awesome or whatever. Like, people should walk around already being amazing and awesome people. It should be expected for you to come across people that treat you with dignity and respect. You shouldn't have to force somebody, especially somebody who is exchanging the words I love you with you. You shouldn't have to like you shouldn't have to convince them that you the shit, basically. Like, they should already know, like, you're amazing, you're awesome, and I'm gonna do absolutely nothing to jeopardize that. But you know, in my case at that time, it just wasn't that just wasn't the case. But it was so much anger, like, how you just really gonna, you know, whatever. And then I would start to get into playing these mind games and get into these situationships, trying to get over it too quick and fast and hurting myself further. So honestly, the first 2 years of me being single was a hot mess express, just filled with kind of spiraling downward, and just doing so much and not knowing that it was making me sadder and making me madder. But at the time, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't happy. Like, I was like, nah, like, I'm good, everything's cool, like, I'm moving on, I'm getting it together, I don't need this person, you know, dudes ain't nothing, yada yada yada. But now we'll go home and I will cry. Like, she gonna go home and cry in the car. Like, yeah, I went home and I cried. But you know, I ain't ashamed. Like, you know, my whole single journey, the first 2 years, I just had to feel it. That's just how I go through my emotions. I just had to be sad. I just had to be mad. Like, I was hurt. I got broken. All right, so, whew, I know we left off at like one like little part, but I ended up having to take a phone call, and then ended up finishing the first cup of the hottie toddy. So now I had to get another one, and I'm feeling mighty good right now. So yeah, the second part of this video gonna be fun. Yeah, getting back to it, I was heartbroken. You know, I got broken up with, and that's something that isn't, you know, it isn't a nice feeling. So first 2 years definitely was sad and was angry, and you know, I definitely don't regret it, because I needed to feel it, because I don't feel any sadness or anger anymore about the situation. I'm very much healed and over it. I'm very much past it, and I honestly think personally for me, I wouldn't have been able to get to this space and this stage without feeling those feelings. So I don't regret them at all. And I didn't like it at the time when I was going through it, because it hurt and it was just painful. But you know, when people tell you it gets better, it really, really does. It really, really does get better. And the next 2 years of my singleness and where I am now is proving, and has proven, that it really does get better with time. So, third year of me being single, second half, I would say it was the turning point of my single journey, and it was time for me to really heal and let go. So, I want to say the first like I want to say how I got better and more comfortable with being single, and like kind of getting over my heartbreak and getting over my past and my last relationship. I would categorize it under the 3 A's. So first it was anger. The next step after that was acceptance. And then the third step after that was accountability. So we already talked about anger, so let's get into the acceptance. So I had to accept the fact that this person no longer wanted to be with me. You know, this person did what they did and it's over. I had to accept the fact that I seriously want to move on. I had to accept the fact that this part of my life is now over. Something that felt so familiar, something that I felt like would be a part of my life forever, somebody who I thought I would be here no matter what, is now gone. I gotta let that go. I gotta get that energy out because it's literally not serving me, and I'm seriously ready to move on, heal, and be happy, because the first 2 years of me being sad and angry, I wasn't happy, and I knew that I deserved to be, and I was willing to put in the fight and the work to finally be happy and get there. So I had to start with accepting the fact that, you know, that part of my life is over and now it's time to turn a new leaf and get better. Do y'all know that my battery had the nerve to die? All I'm trying to do is be great today. And it's just, come on now. My God, this hottie toddy is so good. I gotta have more of these, like, oh my Lord. I just had to accept that it was over. And it was hard for me to accept that while I was still sad and angry. But, you know, I was finally moving into the stage of really just wanting to be done with this. Like, it was, the feelings were so repetitive, the situations were repetitive, the broken promises, the back and forth of getting back together and breaking up and getting back together and breaking up. I was like, yo, this is insanity, you know? And you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, the exact same way, and expecting a different result. And that's kind of what the first 2 years of me being single was. It was me just going through all of these emotions, going through all of these situations with my ex and also in situationships, and doing the same exact things with the same exact people and expecting different results, and not just doing something different by walking away from it. You know, I was sitting around and waiting for these people to do right, for them to act right, for them to change up, for them to be better. And who am I to tell somebody that they need to change who they are? If you don't want to change who you are because you're comfortable with that, that's not up to me to decide for you, even if you really should be better because you don't treat people nice. But I need to remove myself from the situation, and I needed to move on, and I need to leave so that I can go be great and do good, and that person can go great and do good in their own way. So that was kind of the acceptance stage. And I think the hardest stage of my single journey was the accountability. Now, the accountability phase, it varies from people's situations. So if this part ain't gonna hit with you, that's perfectly fine. But let me take a swig of this real quick. I had to take accountability for the role that I played in my heartbreak. And what I mean by that is I knew that this person wasn't treating me with dignity and with respect. I knew that this person was treating me outside of what I was looking for and outside of what I deserved, and I was allowing him to. I was just sitting and just allowing myself to be walked all over and treated wrong and treated bad, and that is the accountability that I took in it. Now, it's very easy to point the finger, and the accountability phase at the beginning was really tough because, you know, in the beginning it was all him. You know, you did this and he's like this and oh, he's whatever, da da da. And yes, that is very true. He is whatever, XYZ. But I had to stop and point the finger back at me, like, okay, well, he's XYZ 1 2 3, and you know that, so why did you stay? Why did you let it happen? Why did you sit in that? And like I said, this is how I personally feel about my situation, because everybody's singleness is so different. And since I'm opening up the conversation about being single and whatnot, I don't want people to feel judged or feel like they need to take accountability for things that are not theirs, although that's not my responsibility. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make a point that, you know, it's so easy to point the finger, but real change begins where you can point the finger back at yourself and find if there's something that you can change about it. And that's kind of what I had to do. So I realized that I was lacking in self-love. I was lacking in self-respect. And in order for me to find a person who is going to, you know, be there for me and love me in the way that I desire, the way that I want, I needed to love myself first, and I didn't. And that's why I was navigating through relationships and going through all these problems and hardships, because I wasn't loving myself. I was looking for that person to do all of that work. You know, I need you to make me feel loved. I need you to make me feel respected. And I need you to make me feel whatever, which is true. I definitely want my partner to make me feel loved and respected and honored. But I can't expect that person to make me feel that way if I don't feel that way about myself first. So the accountability journey really triggered and started off my self-love journey to where I am now. And I'm very grateful for it. Like, it was rough and it's tough, and it still is, because can't nobody expose themselves more than you can expose yourself to yourself, right? So I expose myself to me on a daily basis, okay? If I'm feeling something, I expose myself to myself, like, yo, so why do you feel that way? Why did you do XYZ? Like, let's sit down and unpack this. And also, like, with my self-love journey and my accountability journey with being single, it also allowed me to highlight different areas of my life that I wanted to improve. So the biggest thing is me being vulnerable and open. You know, I wasn't being vulnerable and open in my romantic relationships, but I also wasn't being vulnerable and open in my friendships and my relationship with my family. So, you know, me taking that step into healing and self-love allowed me to open myself up more to my family and my friends, and now we're all closer, and we're all like, just it's better. I'm better for it. So my single journey has really jump-started so many different areas of my life of healing, and I'm really grateful to be on the journey still, and I'm grateful for everything that I went through, even if it was tough and hard at that time. So it really does get better. And now I'm moving into, like, you know, the current phase of my single journey where I'm open and ready and confident and comfortable with, you know, dating and being out there, because I didn't want to start dating again until I felt I was ready. And honestly, the timeline of you being ready to date is personal. Like, maybe you might feel ready to date after a couple of months, or maybe you might feel ready to date after a year. But I just had so much internal work to do, and I didn't want somebody to come in here and distract me from that, or I hurt them in the process of trying to heal what I got going on. So it was important for me to just completely isolate myself from the thought of dating, from the thought of being romantic with anybody, and really just love on me. I needed the love. I couldn't focus on giving love to somebody else. I had to give that love and reserve that love for myself. And so I feel like I definitely have created my own internal happiness. I created my own self-love, my own confidence. So now I'm ready, and I have room and space in my heart and my life to open that up to somebody else. And I'm excited for this current part of my journey, where I'm open to dating, open to finding someone new, open to seeing where things go, and I feel confident that I'll now be the best partner that I can really truly be to my significant other, because I went through this single journey and I'm better off for it. So honestly, your girl's blessed. Just simply put, like, your girl is blessed, and I have my single journey and my road to self-discovery and self-love while on that journey to thank for that. So I think I'm gonna end the video here. I think I've rambled enough, and and shout outs to this lipstick. This is VDay by Crayon Case. I have drank 2 mugs of this hottie toddy, and it's still on, like, super. This lipstick is amazing. So, you know, I hope you guys have enjoyed this first Brown and Brie segment. I'm looking forward to doing more. Let me know what other topics you want to talk about in the Brown and Brie segment by leaving them down below. Also, let's continue the conversation about singleness in the comments under this video. So share with me your journey, whether you are single and okay with it, single and not okay with it, newly broken up, or if you're taken and you want to reminisce and talk about your lessons and steps that you took when you were single. Let's talk about it in the comments, because I'm telling y'all, we gonna get to know each other real good in 2020, and this segment is going to definitely do that. So yeah, you guys, I'm so excited. I'm a little tipsy right now, but I'm super excited and stoked that I was able to just sit down and just be open and vulnerable with you all. And I'm able to be at this space because of me being single. So I just am feeling good. So I love you lots of tater tots. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Friday, whether you are celebrating Valentine's Day today or whether you're celebrating Galentine's Day tomorrow, or if you're not celebrating anything at all, it's just a regular Friday for you. I hope that you're having a good day and will have a good weekend. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Shaggy it looks. It gives me like Clueless kind of 90s vibes a little bit, and I just absolutely love it. Every time I wear it I always get compliments, and